So hello gamers, people always want to know how to rank up fast in this game, and there have been some guides, but a lot of them are very old. But yeah, today I'm going to be showing you a few different ways to rank up very fast, and an overall strategy to rank up really fast in this game. Now the first tip is very simple, it's basically find a gun with high suppression and just immediately pick it. For example, the Colt LMG has 1.4 suppression, just immediately use it. This sounds like personal opinion, right? You just want to use it because you want to use it. You don't really need to use any specific gun. That's not true. Some of them actually have a lot more suppression than others, but what those high suppression guns will do is they will suppress enemies, which will give you 25 points every single time. And if you have a very high suppression gun, for example the MG3 KWS, you will literally always get a suppressed enemy. And yeah, this can be very helpful when you miss shots because you can just get a free suppressed enemy. So yeah, if I just miss shots on people, I will get a free suppressed enemy. It's super nice. As well as the fact that LMGs are very good for killing people. Second tip is also kind of LMG based. You get 50 extra points every time you wallbang somebody. And this can be very easy as long as you have a gun with a lot of pen. But here's a trick, do not use armor piercing. This will half your suppression, and a lot of LMGs already have a ton of pen, so it's not actually going to be a big deal. Also, if you just see a wall that's really thin, just start shooting at people through that. As you can see, I got a suppressed enemy. That's a free 25 points. The first time there was double XP, I just used this gun, the MG3 KWS, because it has a ton of RPM and a ton of suppression. So essentially every single time you spray at somebody, you'll probably kill them and suppress them at the same time, which essentially means 125 points instead of 100 for every single kill, which is like, that really adds up. That's basically 25% more points. So yeah, you can do this with basically any early rank gun as well as late rank guns. There's a lot of guns that you can use for this. And another way to get more points is to kill people from a distance, right? Now you might think this is a great idea, so you should always play on like, I don't know, Mirage or something like that. Don't do that. The reason you shouldn't do that is simply because close range maps you will get more kills on. Just find a close range map that's good for you and just kill people on it, unless you just suck at close range, and then I guess use like Desert Storm. But trust me, close range maps are going to be super helpful. Every time I play in Blackside, I always get like a 70 kill game. That's just my average number of kills on that map. It's a very rare map because other people don't seem to like it that much. But like I said, find a close range map that you vibe with. It doesn't have to be Metro, because all the time people say, oh yeah, play a Metro. You don't have to play a Metro. It just has to be a map that you like. So yeah, the M60 will be helpful, but it's not your main killing gun. Don't expect to kill people as easily as it used to, but it is pretty good for suppressing. But yeah, stick around for the rest of this video because there's a lot more tips that people don't really realize. For example, if you have a sniper rifle, a DMR, any of these guns, they're probably not going to be that good unless you can vibe very well with them, and there is a purpose for DMRs and maybe snipers, but like I said, you're going to be going for close range maps, so it's probably recommended that you don't use these most of the time. But something that people forget is actually headshot multiplier. Now the reason for this is because the G3 will do 80 headshot damage, and it will 2-shot to the head at all ranges, right? What that means is that headshots are going to devastate people, and you're usually going to get a kill with a headshot. There also is the fact that battle rifles tend to have a lot of suppression and a lot of pen. But yeah, since your headshots are going to do so much damage, a lot of the time you're going to kill with a headshot, just because the headshot is going to finish off the player. And also you could see there, I got a wall bang, so that gave me 200 points. But yeah, as you can see, headshot kill. The G3 gets so many headshots, which is essentially 25 free points on every kill, as long as you can hit the headshots. But headshots are pretty easy to hit with this gun, simply because it has a lot of recoil. So usually when you aim at the body, it'll hit the head. It's like bouncy recoil, but you might hit a headshot, and that is going to be very nice for getting extra points. Another thing you might think is, well, I should use hollow points because it increases my suppression, right? However, hollow points actually halves your penetration depth, which means that the HK416 now has the same pen as like a PDW, which is very little, obviously. And yeah, a lot of PDWs don't actually have a lot of suppression, so try to find something that has good pen and good suppression. For example, the P90 has 0.5 suppression, which isn't too bad, and 2 studs of pen. If you used AP, you would have 3 studs of pen, but 0.2 suppression, which is essentially nothing. And if you use hollow point, your suppression doesn't even change, but you only get 1 stud of pen, as well as all the downsides that hollow points have. Another thing you could use is shotguns. They have no pen, so maybe put on flechette if you can. And also, they don't do a lot of headshot damage, so of course your chances of killing with a headshot are kind of low. But overall, if you can get a lot of kills with the gun, you will do better. Something to note is that, hey, headshot. There are double XP events for this game sometimes, and when there's a double XP event, immediately just no life the game. That's the best way to do a ton. Just use a high suppression gun, go for headshots, go for wall bangs, go for collats. Collats are another thing. If you hit a collat, you get plus 100 points, and that can be insane. Like, that can really go up. If you get like a quad collat, that's like 1,000 points. But of course, just playing on a CQC map will be very helpful. Oh, I just wall banged that guy? How? But yeah, going for headshots with a shotgun is going to be difficult. If you're not that good, just go for kills. There's just ways that you can play the game to make yourself do better and get more points every time. Oh, wow. Come on. And if you're gonna snipe, use something like the M107. Not only is this very, very good for basically any range, it also has 5 suppression and 10 studs of pen, which means if you miss, you're probably gonna suppress. And another thing for sniping, but just in general, let's say there's a guy really far away or even close up. See, I just pressed E on him. Somebody else kill him. Get him, buddy. Yeah. So yeah, I just got a spot bonus, which is another 25 points. If you're at range, just constantly press E. If a teammate kills him, you get 25 points. And if you kill them, you obviously get tons of points anyway. So it's very nice to do this. If you're gonna use the M107, maybe go for headshots. It will give you 25 extra points, but see, double collat, that just gave me 325 points for just one shot, which was insane. If both of those were headshots, it would have been 375. And if they were both wall bangs, it would have been 475, which normally, if you didn't do anything, would obviously be like, what, 200 points? So there I just got, what, 175 for one kill. The spot was from somebody else that I just randomly spotted, but I only get 100 normally. But if you get those wall bangs, you get the headshots, and of course you just suppress a guy, it can be pretty nice. The thing about the MG3 KWS is that it has the highest rate of fire of any LMG along with the highest suppression. Another good way to get a lot of points is of course to play the objective. A good way you can always play the objective is simply use the server browser to find those objective servers. I recommend Flare Domination, not King of the Hill. You can basically just run between all the points and get 400 points on each, and while you're running in between the points, just kill people, and every 3 you get is 1200 points, which is very nice, as well as the fact that you just get lots and lots of kills. Another way you can play the game is to always play kill confirmed. You only get 50 points for every kill, but as long as you're playing in CQC, you can get their tag immediately and get 150 points for every kill, which can be pretty good, as well as the fact that if you secure your teammates' tags, you get 75, which is basically just a free 75 points. Another thing about control points is that if there's somebody near the control point or you're near the control point and you kill them, then you get 50 points, which is pretty big considering you get it for any kill. You have to be very close to the point, maybe on it. Let me see. So didn't get it there. That's weird. Streaks, of course, give you more points. If you have a double, you get 25. A triple is 50. Quad is 75, and a multi is 100 for every kill after that. So basically you get double points for every single kill, which means one multi is probably like, I don't know, 1,000 points, and you get 200 for every kill after that. And you might think capture the flag is really good. It is good only if you play it in a certain way. There is a certain way to get capture the flag to give you a ton of points, and that is the save or assisted by teammates. If you're just camping, you have the flag and your teammates get kills and they're around you, you get 15 extra points. And if you're low, then you get 25, as well as the fact that I think you get offensive flag kills, which I think is a 50 point bonus. It'd be a 25, but still. I don't know how that counted as a wallbang. If you want to get a ton of wallbangs, there's a very good map for that, and that is, of course, Warehouse. You can wallbang with a PDW because the walls are just super thin. And yeah, I just defended a position, so I think if he's on a position or taking the position, then you get the point bonus. And of course, you can throw nades into places. Nades don't really give you extra points, but if you get a free kill with them, you get a free kill. And of course, teammate spawning on you is nice. If you're in a strategic location, maybe you'll get more teammate spawns, or maybe if you have a very good lobby, you could just sit near a position. Hopefully, you don't end up in combat and just tell people in the chat to keep spawning on you. But yeah, overall, there's only one real foolproof strategy, and that is, of course, to use a high penetration LMG and basically just suppress people constantly. Go for headshots. Actually play the objective as long as it's not hardpoint. Hardpoint gives you like no points. However, if there's an enemy on the hardpoint, it'll tell you since it'll mark it in the other team's color. And if you see that and you're near it, just go kill that guy. Another strategy is, of course, to just use a gun that you really like. Try out new guns and figure out what works really well for you. For example, I really go off with a Vector usually. And if you know a wall is really thin and you can shoot through it, just shoot at that wall. If it's like a common wall that enemies are usually behind, like these doors, like you can just shoot at these, maybe you'll get a free kill, who knows. Or basically any gun. Alt aim is really good on most guns. And yeah, there is a couple DMRs that are good. First off, the SA58 SPR is very good because it can one hit, but only to the head, so maybe you'll get some free headshot kills. 98 assist count, come on, bro. But yeah, the SA58 is like the good CQC DMR. That and the VSS, but the VSS cannot one-shot headshot. It does 99 headshot damage, which is good. More than the G3, obviously. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, gamers. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you figured out how to get more XP and how to level up faster in this game we call Phantom Forces. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Wow.